Remember the fucking face podcast?
Remember the fucking face.
You already know we have Diogo Snow.
Yes.
For a lot of people that don't know my guy, Art Gang, the best in the business when it comes to creative mind and artistic ways of putting out the picture and the view that he has in his own mind. Now, talk to me, Diogo. It's been a long time. I've been trying to get you into that podcast. I know you're a busy man. Today is your birthday, and I appreciate you coming out. But what's going on?
Oh, today's my birthday. I gotta take this, bro. I'm gonna take this out, okay?
Are you trying to show off with the earrings?
Yes, bro. I gotta show these earrings off, bro. Look at this.
Diogo Snow, I love
Fresh
that.
by Kilani Jewellery.
Yes,
I
yes.
feel
But
I
I
feel
feel
better.
like it's from the right to the left. You should put the D on the left and the S to the right so people
Maybe
can
I'll
read
do
Diogo
that.
Snow.
Yeah, maybe I'll do
Now
that.
it's no Diego, huh?
There's no Diego for
You're
you
such-
guys. But anyway,
You're an artist
you
in
guys are
every
the only
way.
ones who take me out of my house. You know, on my birthday.
I
You
love
know
it.
the love that I have for you, for the family.
I love
You know
it,
the whole Kilani family. But we're here, man, enjoying this beautiful day today. You know,
And how you feel about yourself, now turning into another year, strong on everybody, doing the right thing, creating so many different artistic frames that's been inspiring so many people. I've been inspired by you since you was an artist originally.
thank you.
And singing and rapping and doing music and you doing your art and at the same time you were just like mind blown since you were young. When did you actually found this creative thing about yourself?
You know, actually, going back to your question, like me turning 42 now is just one more year. You know, as the years pass, I just feel more inspired. You know, every year I'm growing. Every day I'm actually growing. You know, so for me, it's just like life experience. You know, every year for me, it's a different journey. You know, I mean, growing. You know, as a man. And I'm just feel super excited, man. I feel blessed the way that everything is happening in my life. You know,
I think the way you put out, the way you get back in, and due to your personality, and okay, but let's bring it back. Remember the fucking face podcast is a podcast to tell people about our life story, such an inspirational. Whatever can be inspiring people,
yes,
inspire the youths, because that shirt I wore today is from my neighbor. His name is Mood, and when I walked in, and he showed me how he did the artistic things that he did in the back of that T-shirt, and he looked at me and he's like, you know what? I was always inspired by Diogo Snow, and I've been doing this.
well, that's crazy.
So there are people who are inspired by
And
you. Let us
actually, and
know.
I see, bro, you didn't even told me this. And when you walked in, I'm like, yo, that's a sick T-shirt. I need something like this. And now you're telling me this, bro. I need to go see this guy too, cause
We have to, because
not just because the shirt's dope, but because you said he got inspired by me. And
yes, and it's not easy to be inspired by others. And, I have a lot of people that are inspired by me too. And I feel the love. I feel everything that comes out of the city, Toronto. Whatever you put out, you get it. Now, let everybody know, who are you? You have this broken accent, your swag, your style, your artistic way of putting your clothing, the way you dress, the way you move. Who are you? Where you come from? How did you arrive into this world? When did you get here? How did you start? Please tell us
Yeah.
everything.
As some of you guys know, Diogo Snow, my name is Neves, Diogo Neves. I'm a simple dude from Brazil, came from Brazil.
Sick.
São
Paulo?
São Paulo.
São Paulo!
Yes. Big
Let's go.
city, man. Big
I
city.
love it. So you actually came in from a big city to another big city.
Yeah, grow up into a musical family. My dad is a guitar player.
Sick.
And I became a drummer. My brother a bass player. We played pretty much our whole life together. So when I was 20, I moved to Canada. I started working construction.
How did you get to Canada? How did you get to move
Actually, my uncle moved here first, and then when he used to go on vacation in Brazil, my brother used to sit down with him, and he say, "Hey, uncle, teach me some English, like how's Canada?" Always ask him these questions, and then he's like, "You know what? When I turn 18, I'm gonna go visit you in Canada." And that's exactly what happened. When he turned 18, he came to see my uncle. But he didn't came just to visit. He came to learn English.
Oh.
Yes, and then my brother came first. He was a year here, but just studying, not working. And then one of his best friends, they used to live in our neighborhood in Brazil. He came after, and then he was living with my brother, and he started doing construction. So,
Sick.
so when he went back to Brazil, his friend came back with him, and then I was asking, he's like, I was making like $700 a week, working construction, and I'm like, what the fuck I'm
Sick.
doing in
$700
Brazil?
back in the day.
700 back in the days, and
It's big.
in Brazil it's way more,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
It's
yeah.
4 times our
But it's
money.
big in Toronto back in the day too.
100%, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a big money. So you know what? And I got robbed twice with a gun in my head. They took my car twice, and then I got on a point that I got in trouble in Brazil. I'm like, what? I don't want to stay here anymore. I wanna go to Canada. So
Wow, Canada's so honored to have you though,
yeah,
because you're so talented. So
Thank
I'm
you,
proud
man.
that you're actually part of my society. How long ago when you came to Toronto?
It's gonna be 23 years.
23 years.
17. I'll go 17.
2 decades now. So I've been here
So,
25 years.
25?
yeah.
Yeah. So, I moved here, started doing construction.
Sick.
Yeah, bro, something completely different. But my 6 first months were like crazy. I was just the same way that, I wanted to leave Brazil when I got here. I got here on a Sunday. On a Monday, not even
usually.
one day off, bro. I have Sunday. Monday I was doing construction.
I love this.
Crazy.
That's what's hard working people, because when I came into Canada, the first job I ever had, it was cutting mushroom.
Really?
It was I wanted to get out of the house. I wanted to meet people. I wanted to do something. So I was cutting off mushroom at a mushroom factory on Lakeridge by Whitby, like up north, between like Whitby and Uxbridge area, something like that. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But it's still there, when you search it, north of Lakeridge or north of the 401 on Lakeridge, you'll find it. So it's funny, we all had to do something.
Right?
Yeah, but that's
Yeah.
fun. So construction, that's a vibe.
Construction, but my 6 first months were like a little hardcore for me because I never went to school to learn English, That's why I still have this like broke accent. Some people like it. Some people doesn't
No,
understand.
I love it. I love it. I
You
love
know.
it because I understand everything you say.
No, 100%.
You're like my older brother with his accent too.
Yeah.
And a broken accent, I know the ladies love it because they just like, who is this guy?
Yeah.
And I know you got your swag.
That's how we call
Papacito.
each other, Papacito. But yeah, so 6 months here, and then I start kind of going out, meeting people. I got into the Brazilian community, and then it was like more chill.
But you was singing when you first
no,
started.
I was
What did you do?
I was playing drums.
So you was
So
playing
pretty
the
much
drums.
when I was 9, I started playing drums, and when I was 14, I started doing illegal tags in the streets of Brazil. Yeah. And then when I turned 18, because in Brazil, when you're 18, you become an adult. So and then you go to jail, you
So
get
you wanted
you
to
can
make
get
sure
a
you get
driver's
away.
license, you can go out, you can go stuff. So Brazil, it's 18. So before I hit 18, I'm like, no, I just have to stop doing those illegal tags or I'm going to end up in jail, right? So I stopped, and then because I knew how to draw, and I was addicted by the spray paint for this, the smell. So I'm like, I need to do something.
Wow.
So I started doing graffiti. Because,
Sick.
the
In-
smell
in
is super,
Brazil.
yeah,
I
it's
know.
a big impact,
Yeah,
in,
I
in,
know.
in
You're
life.
more addicted to the smell of the tinner. The
100%.
smell that comes
Yes,
out of
yes.
the spray.
So I started doing graffiti, but I never thought I was gonna do art, for a living or nothing like this. It was just my hobby, right? I was just
Sick.
going on the streets and doing graffiti like every
Looking
week.
for walls anywhere,
Exactly.
anywhere empty wall.
Yeah.
And if you found a graffiti on a wall, would you cover it up to do your own graffiti? Would you be an asshole
no,
like that?
No, you can't, man. You gotta respect the laws.
Is that
There's
how
the
yes,
street
so
laws?
the
exactly.
artist, the artist
Yeah,
there was
even the guys that still doing illegal tags and stuff, they respect graffiti too, and they never tag on top of the graffiti. And there was one of the reason why too, a lot of people are asking to, to do graffiti on their walls too, because they didn't want the illegal tags, because some people they find ugly, and they're just like, I just do a graffiti on my wall, so this way I can avoid the illegal tags, right? But yeah, and then came here. I was doing construction for 3 years. I'm like, I have to go back to the music. because music's in my blood, right? I always wanted to be like a successful drummer.
Yeah.
So I find a band, start playing with a band, whatever. Nothing happened. You know, we record a CD, we start traveling, and then there was a fight, you know, with the singer, blah, blah, blah. And then the band, it was over. I start playing with this rapper from LA. You know, I'm like, wow, now it's gonna happen. You know, I had a song with Sean Kingston, some big artists in US. We start touring, and then, you know, the singer too, same thing, had a fight with the manager. Boom, the band's. I'm like, oh my God. So one of my friends came up to me and said, Diogo, listen, you know, you have the look, you're like a nice guy. Why don't you sing? You keep putting your energy for all these people, and they're, you know, they're not even the same energy level as you. You know, you want to get it. I know you want to make it. You know, so why don't you learn how to sing and become a singer? I'm like, no.
That's how I met you,
man. I'm like, I'm here behind the drums. You know,
That's crazy.
For me to be the main guy, it's gonna be hard.
Oh my God! I thought you were just directly a singer and doing art at the same time.
No, bro. But I did.
Wow, what
I
a
did.
story! I love
I
that.
did.
Okay, get into it. I want to hear this.
Yeah. So
'Cause I didn't
you
even know half of your story, my man.
Yeah. So, you know, when I did actually decide to you know, to be a singer, and I was doing my music at home, you know, I had like a little keyboard. I was playing the keyboard and kind of like, you know, just singing along with it, try to find the melody and stuff. At the time, you know, I was going to a church, and then at the church I met this the piano, the guy that plays the piano. It's a sick producer. So I'm like, listen, like, I'm not you know, I know how to play piano, but I need someone professional enough that can help me put my beats together and, you know, create the melody and create the whole, you know, the music for me. So he said, oh yeah, no problem. So, you know, so pretty much I was paying this guy, you know, I was working construction, paid this guy hourly, like $40 an hour for him to create my whole album. So when my album was done, this guy literally stole all my songs and took off to Brazil. I'm like, no, man, this guy's from the church, bro. He's the last one that can do this.
Oh,
bro,
my God.
crazy.
What a fucking story.
Crazy, bro.
Remember the fucking Face podcast coming at you, right, with Diogo Snow. This is real action. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, the motherfucker took your fucking music.
And then I was just like, oh, maybe it's not meant to be, you know, like if this
Man,
happened.
back in the day, a lot of shit like this used to happen.
Yeah.
People used to steal laptops from a lot of artists when they used to come to Canada and try to make a negotiation for a feature. Otherwise, they take their music out of their laptop and sell it out.
Whoa.
But that shit happened to you. Oh my God,
Yeah,
Diego.
yeah.
That's a struggle, man. How did you feel that moment? Oh my
You
God.
know, I just couldn't believe, right? And again, in a guy from the church.
Did you ever go back to the church?
No, I didn't go
That's
back
it,
to
no more
not,
church
not
for you.
because of that, but, you know, just because.
It's all right. No hard feeling for anybody with the church,
no.
but
for sure, you know, not even the church, is the guy, right? Is you know, but
yeah, I don't do religious activities anymore.
yeah. And then I just thought it was not meant to be. I'm like, you know, I'm like, maybe, you know,
Obviously.
it's a sign. It's a
First
sign,
experience and last one,
right?
hopefully.
But and then, you know, it's funny that I met this guy online, a Brazilian producer too.
You know, I'll
and
tell you something. I'm sorry to cut you
tell
off.
me, yeah.
There are a lot of people in the world that are evil. And the biggest problem in these people is they don't think long term. They think about the short moment or short time,
100%,
or just the moment that they
1,000,000%.
can capture whatever and leave.
Yep.
But living like this, it will make them a society living in hell on their own as they grow older, because they will burn bridges with everybody anywhere they go.
1,000%.
And no matter how the world is big, people meet people and people see people.
Bro, so
There are
true.
people who get successful from having experiences like this, and there are people that do this, they never get successful. So
Yeah.
I've been through stories. So that's a fucking bullshit story.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people that have been through it. But yeah, keep going now. I love this shit.
It's so true, exactly what you said. I met so many people.
What do you
like
say?
this,
What do you
too.
say? Remember the fucking
Remember
face.
the fucking face. Come on.
Remember the fucking face podcast. Let's do it.
So, you know, and then after that, I met this producer online, Brazilian guy too. And then he was like, yo, I heard that you're, you know, doing your singing thing, whatever. And then I told him this story. He's like, listen, just come to my studio. Like, there's something about you that, I think is going to be good.
And you still didn't give up.
No.
You still
I
don't.
thought about for 6 months, I was just like chill. I'm like, I'm not going to do anything, whatever. I was focused, on the construction. I'm like, I just going to be here focusing with my brother, whatever. So when this guy reached out to me, Artur Zaragoza, which is one of my best friends now, he's like, come to my studio. So I went to his studio. He's like, listen, we're going to do his whole album. I want to work with you. I want to play with you. And, we want to do stuff together. So pretty much I went to his studio, bro. And then we did the whole album again. He didn't charge me a single penny. And we did the whole
Shout out
album.
to Arto, baby.
Shout out to Art, bro, because he was my guy. And and then from there, I got him to play with me. He was a sick guitar player too. So, and then I put my album together. I did the first, the album release. And then from there, I started kind of doing my hustle, right? I was working construction and investing all my money to my career. So I invest to travel, I invest to do shows, Oh, there's a venue. At the beginning, they don't believe in you. So, you want to play my venue, you have to pay. So I was paying to perform my venues. I was pretty much, bro, I swear to God, for like 6 years of my career, I had 2 paid shows. And I was just investing all my money that was making construction to my career.
You are 42 years old.
Yeah.
Successful man.
Yeah.
Have a kid, a wife, a house, a business, a very talented business and creative. And I love the artistic things about you. And I gave you full support when I start to see you into the painting part.
You did.
And we still have the bottles and a lot of crazy stuff. Every art piece that you gave us, even the first Kilani logo thing.
Yeah, remember? Yeah.
Now, we know each other. We went back on Instagram trying to figure it out. It's been 7 years, me and you know each other. Now, how did you think, because when I was around you, it was just singing and, switching into painting. That was the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
How did you think about going back into this graffiti style art and create a name for yourself that became so popular worldwide, where people cherish your one-of-one kinds of painting? You painted a jet, you painted trucks, Lamborghinis, you painted everything, yachts. Did you do a helicopter yet?
No, but we're planning now.
Yeah, I think you should be painting the helicopter while the helicopter going in there.
That's what we're doing.
That would be fucking crazy,
Soon I will share with you guys. We're planning something crazy.
I'll be there. I'll be there.
Yeah.
So tell me, how did you how did this something? What really went down in your mind that made you take a switch? You invested a lot of money. Your story is real. You went through hell. You made a name for yourself. You put out shows. Now you're into you already invested too much, and then suddenly you decided to go into painting and art and bring all the colors that you have in your brain. Wow.
Yeah.
And what really happened?
So going back to the music, so then I started investing all my money into the music. And I remember at the time I had a money to buy a house. My brother got a house in Brampton, and then he's like, listen, there's a house right in front of mine. Just go and buy that house, invest on that house. I'm like, no, I want to follow my dreams. I want to invest this money in my singer career, whatever. I believe, in myself. I got to do. It's like, no, you crazy. You can't do this, man. You have to think about your future. I'm like, listen, I don't want, nothing wrong with construction, because when I did it for 12 years and I loved it. It was good because I was doing taping. So tape is art too. You have to be an artist to do taping, man. It's crazy.
Taping is one of the toughest things in.
So, I didn't buy that house. I invest all my money traveling, paying for shows, paying to record with artists, free shows for 6 years. So I got on a point that my son was gonna born, and then, I got stuck. I'm like, listen, now I understand that, and now I cannot be spending all my money to my career anymore, because now I have a child. So now, I have to to look for something that it bring the income back. And so, call my brother. I'm like, listen, I want to, kind of focus on the construction business with you, because at the time we had so many guys working for us. And then I'm like, I want to, start managing the company again, doing this and that, and I'm not going to quit my singer career, but I'm going to kind of let it go. whatever happens, happens. So when I decide to, do this like pause in my career, I had 4 songs with the biggest Portuguese singer in Portugal, Ana Malhoa. Millions of views on YouTube.
I remember when you brought them too. You brought a lot of
Yes.
people. You brought Guimê to from Brazil.
Yes.
That's how I met you, and he bought a
Exactly.
lot of jewelry from
A
me.
lot of people.
Buzz
yeah,
Down
to
Watch,
Kilani.
Presidential. That's right.
Yeah.
So I remember all these movements, and he was making like Rubble and Cabana, and you were
Exactly.
making big moves.
Yeah. So and then when I decide to kind of like put a pause in the career, because I had those 4 songs with this Portuguese lady, there was these 2 guys that they used to own the Portuguese festival in Toronto. So they pretty much, they approached me right on that time when I was thinking to pause the career, and then they're like, listen, we need you to perform in our festival. I'm like, wow, that's amazing. It's like, yeah, how much, is your show? And I didn't even have a manager. I had my best friend Zico that was working with me. And then, I'm like, I'll talk to my friend. We come up with something, whatever, and, I'll give a number.
How much did you charge that day?
I charged, I think it was like 1,500 per show. It was 2 shows, 2 concerts. That was like literally my 3rd paid show. And then they're like, Diogo, how's your career? Like, what are you doing? I'm like, listen, I'm investing in my own career, but now I'm going to have a son. I have to put a pause. They're like, okay, come to the office. We want to have a meeting with you. We want to close the shows, plus we want to talk to you. So went there, talked to them pretty much through my whole life. And they're like, listen, we want to invest on you. Wow. I'm like, what? In my head, I'm like, listen, I'm thinking about, put a pause in my career. And now these guys are literally telling me that they want to invest in my career. And that, they used to own like a big Portuguese newspaper, TV, radio, and TV channel and stuff like this. So went there, I got excited, and they're like, okay, so how much you want, for us to buy into you? Plus what you need, like a monthly, we're going to give a salary, we're going to give all this. I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. Maybe I'm not even going to need to go back to construction. Mm-hmm. So it's like, go home, figure your numbers, and then, whatever you have to pay, if you have a credit card, this, we're going to leave your head clear for you to do your music. And then, we buy into you, blah, blah. Anyway,
wow.
Came up with the number.
Like
accepted.
Your life is full of like people that loves you. Because you even been on TV for real estate back then. And stuff where you took my younger brother out. Like, I've seen you all over the place. Like, you've did everything and anything you've touched. It was golden.
It was a lot of hustle, right?
Yeah.
I was always hustling and finding my space, right?
For all the kids nowadays, like, they're listening to this is amazing.
For sure.
I love it.
Yeah,
That's
and maybe it's good to talk about kids too, because there's so much that I'm
We're
doing
gonna
project
get there.
with the
I want you to
kids
get
too.
me into like how you switched into the art after.
So and then I signed with this company. They came with the big check. I got excited. I didn't read the contract, and literally, by the time I signed the contract, they own me. So and then let's just move forward. A year and a half passed. I was not making music. I was miserable, stressed out, working on the office, 9 to 5, writing articles for magazine, selling marketing package for businesses and stuff. And I'm like, what the F? Like, what I'm doing to my life? I got blind for a year and a half. I didn't see that. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm not making music. I signed to make music, for them to invest in my career, for me to be in the studio, make music, record with artists. And
now you're just doing it, handling papers.
Yeah.
So you became administrator.
Yeah. So, but because I had a big name in Portugal and in the Brazilian community, they were smart. Nothing wrong. They were always smart. They were like smart enough to give me the deal. I signed. I got my money. I had my salary. And, they used me, right, to do something else.
Okay.
So when I went to talk to them, I'm like, listen, I need to make music. It's a year and a half past. I'm not making music. So they're like, no, now you have your salary and we pay you a big money. So now you have to make this money back. I'm like, oh my God. That was my first deal, bro. I didn't know nothing about business and, I was just like, again, I was just a simple dude try to, make my dream come true. And I'm like, bro, crazy, crazy, crazy.
First album.
Yeah.
He fucking got rapped for it and then he got signed.
Bro.
Payback is a bitch.
Yeah.
Remember the fucking fears.
Yeah,
Let's
bro.
go.
So, and then one day I was doing concerts and stuff. One day I was going to put a meeting together with the company, with the team. But I had something with the manager from that company. The manager, he kind of like, he was jealous about myself. Because, again, I'm a simple dude. I'm always smiling. I always treat everybody the same. I don't care if you're, a homeless on the street or if you're the president. I treat everybody the same.
I know.
And I love it. That's what makes me happy, right?
I know.
It's just me. So
I know how you are. You have broke people around you, and you still make them feel
But
loved.
because I'm like this, sometimes some people, they get, so this guy, because he was the big guy of the company, he got jealous when he signed into the company. So he was like treating me really bad and telling me bad
So from
words.
there, did you leave them?
So, and then look what happened, So one day I got harassed by the guy, the manager, really, really, really bad. And I remember that there was one girl working there. She got harassed by this guy too, and she sued the company. She made a lot of money. So I'm like, listen, I don't need anybody's money. I'm self-made. I just want to be good with myself and good with my head. So I went to the big boss. I like, listen, this just happened. Something really bad happened. I just need my resignation letter, and I need to be out of this company because they didn't want to let me go.
Actually,
So that was my time. What happened there?
I burned the mic. It's okay.
Oh,
Sorry,
shit.
bro.
It's all good.
I know you told me. Don't burn the mic, and I just burned it.
He tried to kill the bee, bro. Like,
Yeah, I'm trying to
So,
find something.
And,
he let
then
you out?
I had the chance to leave the company.
That is sick.
But then I left the company, and then I got
Now you're
home.
homeless.
And I'm like, what I'm doing to my life?
You're homeless now.
Yeah. I'm like, I still have my savings,
understand.
whatever.
It's just
But
the fee.
I'm like, I have no job now.
Yeah, I know.
And
it's
I'm
homeless.
like, fuck, because I'm like living a different life.
I know. I love you.
I'm like, what should I do now? Okay, I wanted to leave the company, but now it's been like, at the time it was like 2 years that I'm not doing construction anymore. So now I'm gonna have to go back to construction because I have nothing else to do. So what do I do? And then I'm like, no, I'm just gonna relax, get my head together, try to organize my life, relax. I'll figure myself out. So a click in my head came, and you know what? You remember when you used to go on the streets in Brazil and do graffiti? And you used to go on the walls and paint and spend the whole day painting the walls? For you, it was a therapy. And because I was so stressed out, I'm like, I need something to relax because this is not me. And I never painted on a canvas before. But I'm like, listen, I don't know where I can go on the walls here and paint. So I'm like, I'm going to try to buy a canvas and paint on a canvas just to take the stress out of my, and use that as a therapy. Because I was
Sick.
miserable, bro.
Sick.
So went to the art store, got like some canvas, got spray paints, acrylic paints. So I went there, went down. I was living in a condo. I went down to the locker room and started painting in the locker room like at midnight. When everybody was sleeping, I was going down to the locker room and painting there.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is insane.
Yeah. And then, I start painting and posting on my IG.
That's
So
exactly
because,
what happened.
because I knew like a lot of celebrities through this
It was
year
like 2018,
investing the
yeah.
money, and I met a lot of people have songs with big celebrities in Brazil, in Europe and stuff like this. So I had kind of like a good following of people.
Yes, you did.
So one of my friends, he's actually a big singer in Brazil. I was painting on my locker room and posting my stories. And then he's like, oh my God, I love this piece. Can you ship it to Brazil? How much you want? I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, just pay the material, and I try to find a way to ship. Couldn't ship for nothing. So another guy was like, yo, I love this art piece. He was in Canada. He's like, how much you want? Same thing. I'm like, just pay the material, take it. Painting the another piece. How much you want? Yeah. I like, just take it, pay the material and take it. So it started going like this. And then I'm like, listen, there's something here. That can be a business. Maybe I can make money out of this.
And your art is
So when then I start going deep into the art world, I start understanding more about art, watching like documentaries and, shows. So I got deep into the art. I'm like, okay, so what do you have to do? Okay, first thing you have to put a show together. You have to show your pieces to the world. So I remember, I rented a place on College Street and I painted 12 pieces. I put a show together.
I remember the first show.
And my friend, the one from Brazil, the singer, he's like, Diogo, on the music, sometimes what do you have to do for you to blow up your music? You have to do a featuring with a big artist.
Wow.
It's like, why don't you use this for your art? It's like, who's, let's say, the biggest name in Brazil and who's the biggest name in Canada? The time Drake, now
Drake,
still,
Neymar.
of course.
Drake is always the biggest.
Of course. And then Brazil, Neymar. So he's like, listen, you have connections with Neymar. You know all his boys, So in Canada, you might know somebody that knows, which we made it happen.
Yes.
So it's like, why don't you
That
paint?
was one of the best painting that we did for Drake.
Right?
His father has it on his wall.
Yeah.
And actually the family of Drake with Drake, and we made the owl in gold with the chain.
With the Rio chain on it.
Felt so 3D.
It was crazy.
This is insane.
Yeah.
You're so talented. What do you have to tell after hearing this story? What do you want to tell to the kids? Look into the camera. Remember the fucking face podcast. Something special about this human being right here that made a journey coming out of Brazil. This is a status because I come from Iraq, a place where there was war. There was no therapy in any way, even if you wanted to do art back then.
Yeah.
But we came into this great country, this great city, Toronto, and we were able to unlock our dreams and bring our talent and creativity to the world, and now we're worldwide. What do you want to tell to the young youth and the people that looking up to you, like my friend right here that did that t-shirt? What do you want to say to them?
Well, pretty much I always say something that, believe in yourself. It's one first question that I ask you, do you actually believe in yourself?
Yeah.
Are you down to pay the price, to follow your dreams like I did? I know some people, they didn't man me before. They didn't know my hustle, right? Which a lot of people, they know my hustle. Mm-hmm. But some people, they just look at me now, they think, oh my God, this guy made it. Oh, it's easy. Oh, no, he's just art. Oh, he's just doing all this crazy stuff or this. And a lot of people appreciate, but I know there's a lot of people that judge too, right? But I was always that creative kid, right? I always believed in myself. And I always, wanted to do something different to kind of like try to change the world. Right? And I did, even during the pandemic, that I started painting all this stuff, cars, this and that, trucks, even though there was people painting cars. But for me here in Canada, I was the only one doing it. And I see that I was painting a mural on a school. I started donating murals to school. Wow. And I see parents arriving with the kids with a smile on their face. So for me, that it was like, I was just winning. Seeing all those kids and those parents smiling,
such an inspiration.
And for me, I knew there was something positive that I was doing, and then of course, and then I started going crazy, painting all this type of stuff. But it's because I love, I just want to kind of like, be creative and do whatever I wanted to do, right? But for the kids, it's like, first thing is like, don't believe everything you see in social media.
Correct.
Because a lot of kids are now, they're getting depressed because they see the lifestyle we're living, or some people are just, faking till you make it. They probably did not even living the crazy life. And then they look at it, they say, wow, why, this kid is having this life. Of course, some of them are real, but some of them are not real. And they're believing in this. And they're like, why I cannot live this life? And they get depressed through that because they don't know. Again, some of them are fake, some of them are real. But the real ones, they have to look at the hustle behind, the work that they put behind to be where they are right now. And they don't understand the journey. They just look at it today on the social media and they're like, oh my God, why I don't have this, instead of be like, what do I have to do to be on that level?
Exactly. Like, you went through your story. You had bad journeys. You had ups and downs. So you was able to paint You paint the walls, you paint canvases, you paint yachts, you paint helicopters, you paint a jet, 18,000 tons, or 18,000 ton basically, or 18 tons, sorry, big jet. You've inspired so many people worldwide. You put into yourself, and you put out to people to get what you like to put out. And the beauty about you, your family, your wife, your kid, your son, he's so insane when he speaks to everybody. He just acts exactly like you. So loving, always hugging, and giving everybody like smiles, and like he communicate with people. He has copied your ways, and I see him now picking up the spray paint and trying to do what you do, and that's such an inspiration. Like Hugo, when he comes here, act like he's a jeweler and a diamond setter. So this is for the people. I appreciate you coming out on this show. Remember, the fucking Face podcast is one of the biggest things to ever happen for Toronto. We drop in August 1st. This is our first episode. Stay tuned to our first episode and going up from there, because we have so many people that we recorded. Many talented people, just like you, Diogo Snow. And I appreciate your friendship. And I want to tell you, by the end of the day, there are a lot of artists in the world that are trying to be just like you. Sometimes I feel like I want to pick up some spray paint and paint a canvas just like you. And yes, definitely you're such an inspiration. Chakuch Gang is here. Art Gang is here. Diogo Snow, you're such a legend to the city of Toronto. And I appreciate everything you've done to the community and to the world, and to the art museums that you've been putting out.
No, I appreciate you guys, man. I appreciate the whole Kilani team, the whole Kilani family. You know, you guys always, you know, anytime, doesn't matter what time I stop here, bro, it's always love from everybody, bro. And, you know, I have to go from the first floor to the second floor to the basement to upstairs, bro. I have to, you know, just go around and say hi to everybody, because the love you guys gave me here, it's unreal. You know,
bro,
you guys make me feel home. You guys make everybody feel. You guys are you know, you guys are just
you're
like.
telling me
that's why you guys, you know, are.
I want to tell
level
people
because
about you. Like I called this guy from Miami, telling him to go to my house, pick up all the frames and jerseys that I have on my walls, and bring them out to Miami with you. This guy's like, okay. I was like, who you coming with? He's like, me, my wife, and my kid. I was like, are you sure you're gonna have space? He's like, it's okay. We got enough space. This guy brought around 9 or 10 frames, including a new painting that I got from you.
Yeah.
So not anybody do that. Not every woman will accept that. Not every family is humble just like you. I fucking love you.
I love you guys, man. Love you, bro.
Always, my guy. You're the best. All right?
You guys are
Remember
the best.
the fucking Face podcast. We'll be back to you next week.
Good?